Hello. I'm fine, thank you. In Cairo, Egypt.
That's true. No, my mic is on. Pablo, thank you very much for the confirmation. There was a trouble with my voice because I have to switch
Uh,
off. I have 5 screens in Fire Me plus 2 more, 7 screens, and
yeah.
suddenly, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Pablo. I have to close the mic in several places, and it's a little bit difficult. So again, I was saying that hello, Mahinour, and you're located in.
Mm.
What is your place?
Cairo, Egypt.
Cairo, Egypt, and your time is
Now 3 minutes.
7 or 3 minutes. Exactly the NAS that we are 6 and you are
Yeah.
7. So we only have from Spain to Egypt 1 hour of difference. But for colleagues in India, I imagine that still there has to be someone. Manas is hello from India. Manas, what time is he's here in India now? We can hear Andrew. Ah, I think Ryan that you can hear me now. I was saying, Manas, what time is it here in India? It takes a bit to go through the YouTube and come back to other world. So it's late. So that's the point. Let's gonna start 10:30 p.m. That's crazy. So let's gonna start with this session. Today's session is okay. I think it's very nice. It's a experience you are gonna share with us. But also I have something that I was not prepared, but I'm gonna do it in a second because I'm on controlling my system. I hope, and then let me try to find. Yes, um, I think today is a very nice day to have this streaming with you. Also because Mahinour is gonna collaborate with us this week. Has already collaborated with us. We're gonna make a next week. This week is the celebration of the International Women's Day, and I'm gonna share it in a second. It's being shared on the YouTube. Imagine you're not seeing it, but I'm sharing the big
Okay.
flyer of the event. We are gonna have on the 15th of March. We are gonna have a local event here in Lleida. It will be streamed also, but it will be in Spanish, or in Catalan even, and it will be on 15. Mahinour and other colleagues from the Liquid Galaxy community, your other two girls that are here, have sent some nice videos explaining your experience about women in tech, and also have something like 2, 4, 5. We have a lot of women in this event. So thank you, Mahinour, for helping us today, for explaining your own experience.
Yes.
And as I said, it's nice to have you today because this week is the International Women's Day, or next March
Yes.
8th. We will have our event in 15, but it's the 8th of March. And this is nice. So nothing else. So please share your screen with whatever you have to show us. This is going to be a session talking about the installing of a virtual Liquid Galaxy system. I will say that a lot of the contributors have already done that. I can tell you because the number is public. More than 50 people have already developed a virtual Liquid Galaxy. That is task 1, and still there are more people that will come. So this session is valid just to share your experience, Mahinour, and also for these guys that do not have still developed their own virtual setup. 1 second, that I'm seeing your
Yes.
scene is not correct. I have to change something. I am with OBS, so it's pretty easy to modify in real time. Sometimes I make changes. Now your face is totally on the screen. So Mahinour, press on the button down saying height. We're sharing your screen. You see
Oh,
that?
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to
Yes.
switch on my
Yes.
camera, and if you need something, I'm here. And remember, please, remember to all the people in the
Okay.
YouTube chat: Vivek, Joseph, Manas, Ryan, Pablo, Rofaida. Hey, Rofaida is also there. Manas, if you
Yes.
have any question, please write your question in the YouTube chat, and Mahinour will try to answer at the end. This is going to be, I would say, a long session. I don't know, but thank you, Mahinour, for preparing it.
Yeah.
And the screen is yours.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I'm Mahinour Alaa from Cairo, Egypt, and today I'm going to be presenting one of the main or one of the essential things every contributor has to know in order to start with Liquid Galaxy, which is the Liquid Galaxy Rig Virtual Setup. And many contributors find it challenging or hard to be done, and they face many errors. But I'm here today to tell you that it's very easy. You just have to follow the documentation rules, and don't skip anything, because if you skipped anything, it will mainly cause an error. So let's get started now. This is our agenda for today, but I'm going to start first with some of the Liquid Galaxy setup steps, because some of them takes time, such as the Ubuntu installation and any kind of installation. So while it's going to be installed, I'm going to continue with the slides, so not to waste much time. So first of all, you have to make sure before your setup that you have at least 8 GB of RAM and that you have sufficient storage memory. And we have 12 essential steps in order to make the setup. The first one is installing Ubuntu image, and it has to be 16.04.7 version, because some of you think that why not install the upgraded version, but this causes errors. So you have to install this version, the 16.04.7. You also have to install the VirtualBox. Let me just show you the links. So you can download the VirtualBox from here, and you have 2 links for the Ubuntu image, either from the Drive link or from the official link. And I will have these links available after the presentation at Discord, and they are also available at the last slide of this presentation. So let's get back to the slides. So the third step is creating a NAT network. So let's go onto our VirtualBox and do that. Okay, so here's our VirtualBox. Let's go and do our NAT network. So we go to the network, and here you have NAT network, and right-click and create. And now you have to enable IPv6, and for the prefix, I'm just going to copy it from here. And then you have to paste it here. So now we have created our NAT network. And let's go back to the steps. So the fourth step is setting up the LGs. So let's go back to the VirtualBox, and let's start with setting up the master machine first. So we go here, new. Let's rename it LG1 for the master machine, and you choose the location you want to save it in. And then for the image, you select the Ubuntu image you installed. So here it is, I have it here. And then you check skip unattended installation. Then next. Here you can choose anything, but the best or the most suitable one is 1800 megabytes. And you have to choose one, but if any of the virtual machines crashed, you have to increase the cores to, for example, 2, but not more, because if you increase it too much, it will also crash. So I guess 2 is the most optimal, but let's do it 1 for now. And if any of the virtual machines crashed, we're going to increase the cores. Here also, the best one to choose is 18 gigabytes. And next. So now we have our first one. So we're going to do the same exact step with LG2 and LG3. So we get back here, new. And we choose our image and check this. And and next, and 18 here. And we're done with the second one. And now the last one. And we're doing the same exact steps. Okay, so now we have our three machines right here. Let's get back to the presentation. So the next step is to configure the NAT network on those machines. So we get back to the VirtualBox. We have to start with the master machine. So we go here, and to configure the NAT network, we go to Setting, and here Network. And for adapter 1, the default one is NAT. So we're going to choose the NAT network, and okay. Same thing here. Okay, I'm going to explain everything in detail, but just like I told you, I'm going to explain them while the installation is running, so not to waste time. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's get back. The next step is to the Ubuntu installation step. So let's power our VMs up. So we just wait for them to open up. You can also view scale mode, so they are not very big. Once they open up, they will show that we want to install Ubuntu, and then we will continue with the installation steps. Yes, so here it is. Okay, so we choose install Ubuntu, and install Ubuntu. And we check those two, continue. So here we choose something else and continue. And here we do new partition table, continue. And here we click on this plus. And here we choose swap area. And we like 1024. We also do the same, but here we just mount this one. And okay, let's do the same here and same here. And let's do the same. 102.4 and swap area. Okay, and here we also do the mounting. Okay, and here we do the same. Okay, so now all three. Okay, we finished this. Now we install, continue, and install. Continue. And continue. Okay, so here the name, let it be LG, and the computer's name, we have to name it as LG1 since this is LG1. We choose a password, any password we want, and log in automatically. I prefer that all the three have the same password so we don't forget or don't confuse. But it's of course up to you. And here it's LG2 and the password and login automatically. Here the same LG, but this is LG3 and password and login automatically. Okay, so yes, everything is right. Now continue. Okay, so now it's getting installed. Now let's get back to the presentation because this takes some time. So not to waste time, I'm going to proceed with the slides now. So let me proceed with the slides. Okay, so we done with the 6 steps, the first 6 steps. We have also another 6 steps, but we're going to proceed after the installation. Okay, so now let's start with the slides. What is Liquid Galaxy? Liquid Galaxy is a remarkable panoramic interactive system that started off by running Google Earth with small clusters of PCs, but it now expanded to run any open source application. Imagine an enlarged view and a panoramic view of anything in the world. It's just amazing. And it happens by integrating multiple screens into one. And now Liquid Galaxy is used in real life in many applications and in many fields such as education, training, games, medicine, and many more. Liquid Galaxy setup is 3 or more PCs, and they are all connected together in a master-slave architecture. So typically the navigation happens through the master, and then the location of the master is broadcasted to the slaves. So now the slaves know their location in reference to the master, and this is done by SSH message passing. And this is how we see that all the machines are synchronized together. So now let's go to some network terminologies, because for this setup you have to know some of the basic network terminologies so as to understand the process, and if any error happened to you, you would have an intuition of what could possibly be the error, or just to understand what is everything and what's going on. So let's go to some network terminologies. Okay, so first of all, we have public IP address. It is the publicly registered on the internet to allow any device to have access to the internet. And we have a private IP address. It doesn't connect to the internet. It's only used internally in a LAN network, such as inside a home or a business organization. So now you ask me, if we use private IP address, then how are we accessing the internet? So here comes the role of the NAT, network address translation. translation, which translates the private IP address to the public IP address to allow communication over the internet. And we have also the HTTP server, which is a dynamic host configuration protocol server. It's a network server that automatically assigns IP address, mostly private, and other network configuration parameters to devices on the same network, the LAN, for example, and it's usually built in the router. We have also the master, and in network terminology, a master typically refers to a central or primary device or entity that controls and manages other devices or processes within a network, which are mainly the slaves. And in contrast to the master, a slave device is in a network that is controlled or managed by the master device. And lastly, we have the SSH, Secure Shell, is a network protocol that provides a secure means of accessing and managing remote systems over an unsecured network. It allows users to securely log in into a remote system and execute commands, transfer files, and perform other network-related tasks securely through an encrypted communication. So now we have finished the most basic network terminologies that you need to just understand to be able to do this setup. Now we are going to talk about a very important concept, which is virtualization and VirtualBox networking. So virtualization is a technology that allows you to create multiple instances of hardware on one physical machine. So you could typically have multiple operating systems on your computer. And each one of them is running in its own isolated environment, which is in the virtual machine. And this concept is very important in our setup because most of the contributors don't have access to physical devices more than one. They only have their laptop. So the most common case that each one has just one laptop. So to be able to do the Liquid Galaxy setup, we go to the virtualization solution to be able to run more than one machine by using the VirtualBox and virtual machines. And because it's very resource extensive, we just use 3 machines, 1 master and 2 slaves. So we now understood what is virtualization. We have to understand some of the VirtualBox networking configurations because we have plenty. And you have to understand them to be able to understand why do we use the NAT and the NAT network and the host-only network in our case in the virtual setup of the Liquid Galaxy. So, okay, so let's start. First, let me tell you. For example, you could have multiple virtual machines, just as in our case, we have 3 virtual machines. So you might need these machines to communicate with each other. You also might need them to access the internet. You also might need them to communicate with the host or other physical external device. So that is why we have to understand all these network configuration and tailor them to our use case. So let's start with the NAT. And the NAT is the default VirtualBox networking configuration. Any virtual machine, like the one we did, we found that its default is NAT network. And what the NAT typically does is that once we set up the NAT, it creates a virtual NAT device that assigns IP address as the gateway of that virtual machine. And this helps the virtual machine to use the internet through the host machine. So this means that the virtual machine can communicate with the host, and but the other way is not right, because the virtual machine has the private IP address from the DHC, and then it gets translated through the NAT through the host machine, which acts as the external network. And so the virtual machine can ping the host, but the other way around is not possible because the host doesn't have access to the IP address of the virtual machine. So this is for the NAT, and let me also show you that if you have multiple virtual machines, they won't be able to communicate with each other because each one of them is in their own subnet. So they are in different networks, so they can't see each other, but they can access the host. So as we see here, we have one virtual machine here, it can access the host, and here also we have one virtual machine can access the host, but they together cannot communicate with each other because they are in different networks. So this is the NAT. What about the NAT network? So it is similar to the NAT. However, we have a virtual router behind all these machines. So if we have more than one machine, we can have this virtual router, and the NAT can do the same. The NAT network can do the same as the NAT, connect them all to the host machine and to have access to the internet. However, each one of them now they are all on the same network, so they can communicate with each other. So that's the only difference between the NAT network and the NAT. But also the other way around is not possible. The host cannot communicate with the machines. Only the machines can communicate with the host because it's their gateway to access the internet. So this is for the NAT network. Okay, we have also bridge network, internal network, and host-only network. The bridge network is not very applicable because it doesn't work mainly on Wi-Fi, and you have to use cables, so it could be not possible. But the bridge network the virtual machines act like they are physical machines. So it's like you have configured physical machines and they are all in the same network as your host computer. So they can communicate with each other and they can communicate with the host, can access internet and all sorts of things. The internal network, it acts as a virtual, there's a virtual switch. But here the point is there's no DHCP server that assigns IP address to the virtual machine. So you have to do static IP address to each virtual machine. And here the virtual machines are in a very small private network. So they can communicate with each other, but they can't communicate with the host. They can't access internet, and they're just in their own small private network. Okay, so the host-only network is exactly similar to the internal network. However, the host-only network adds the host to this small private network. So now the host and the virtual machines are in the same small private network. They can all communicate with each other. So I'm going to summarize all this. So here we have all the configurations. We can see the NAT can only access the host one way and has internet access. For the NAT network, it can access other VMs because they can all communicate with each other, and they have internet access too. The bridge network has everything. The internal network has only access to other VMs. They only can communicate with each other, but no internet, no anything else. The host-only network is the same, but with the host too, and it's both ways in this case. So yeah, this is all about VirtualBox networking. I hope this gave you some intuition why we use NAT network and host-only network in our setup. Let me just check the installation. Okay, so it's still installed. Let's get back to the slides till it's installed. Okay, so the Liquid Galaxy architecture. I'm going to show you the physical one and the real one, the real setup and the virtual setup. So for the Liquid Galaxy rig setup with real PCs, as you see, they are all in the same network. They start with 192.168.1.x, and everything is just on the same network, the LAN internet. So this is the physical setup. As for the virtual setup, I will try to simplify it as much as I can. So we have a master machine and we have the slave machines, and we want them to communicate with each other. So and also we want them to access the internet. So to do that, we have a NAT network, so they all can communicate with each other and access the internet. So this is for the green circle right here. And now we also have the host machine, and we wanted to communicate with the master machine. So to do that, we put them in the private network, which is the host-only network. And it typically starts with 192.168.xxx.5. And that is why the host can communicate with the master, and the master can communicate with the host, and they can ping each other. So this is the red circle here. And lastly, we have our application, because we have many Android applications that we want to control the master machine with, or send KML files, do anything. So to do that, we use SSH. And here is our LAN. So we have SSH servers on the master and SSH client. So the SSH client sends a request to the host machine, which is in the same network. And since the host is in the same network as the master, it will send the request again to the master. And then the master authenticates this request. And why, when we do any application in the LG, we have the username, the password, the IP address, and the port number. So it takes all this. And of course, many of you have noticed that we have this IP address mainly in all our apps. So it takes it, authenticates it, and then respond to the host machine, and the host machine responds to the application. So yes, this is why we need a NAT network and host-only network in our setup. So I hope it's now a little bit clear for you all. Okay, so let's check the installation. I guess it's close to finishing up. Yes, it's very close. So we could also continue with our slides for now till we wait for it to get installed. So I'm going to now tell you some of the problems and solutions that many of the contributors face while installing their setup. So we mainly have this error, kernel panic, not syncing, attempted to kill ideal task on any of the LGs, or CPU crashed. Mainly this is because we have to increase the number of cores. So increase it and try again. You also can try to upgrade or downgrade your VirtualBox. And problem 2, if any of the LG aborted or crashed, also increase the number of cores, but not too much, because it will also lead to crashing. Try restarting your laptop. And also, if you have enabled host-only network on the master, try disabling the host-only network again, and try restarting your laptop. For Google Earth doesn't load automatically on the master machine. So you have to repeat installation again with strong internet connection. And you have to make sure you're using Ubuntu version 16.04.7. This is very, very important. Okay, problem 4. Google Earth launches on the master, but not on the slaves, or one of the slaves. So first try the LG relaunch command. Then if it didn't work, you have to repeat the installation on the slave that had the problem, with good internet connection, of course. And you also have to check for the Ubuntu version that it's still the same, 16.04.7, with no upgrades or anything. Problem 5, unable to locate package. And here also check for the Ubuntu version. Problem 6, host key verification failed on LG relaunch. Make sure all the VMs are in the same network. Set up the NAT network correctly and enable host-only network. Also redo the LG setup on the VMs. Okay, the last problem is connection timeout on port 22. Okay, so here the solutions could be: make sure you connected to the masters and slaves to the NAT network, not NAT, and make sure your ISP hasn't blocked port 22, and try different network connection, for example, your hotspot. Let's just check the installation. Okay, it's still installing. So random tips for just the installment: always have stable and strong internet connection during the whole process. Make sure to have Ubuntu version 16.04.7, not the upgraded version. Make sure to have the latest version of VirtualBox installed, and make sure to configure the NAT network communication as well as accessing the internet. Make sure to configure the host-only network on the master machine to allow communication between the host and the master, and accordingly the slaves. Make sure the tablet device that will control the rig is on the same network, either Wi-Fi or hotspot, as your host machine. Make sure to follow all the documentation steps correctly and wisely, because if you miss any step, it will lead to errors. So just follow them wisely and correctly. So let's check our installation. So yes, I think one of them finished. Yes, one of them finished, and this is also about to finish. We can restart this one now.
Hello,
But
Mahinour.
let's wait for the other machines.
Hello.
Hello.
In the meantime,
Yes.
you don't see me, nobody at the camera, but I'm here. I want to congratulate you publicly again because you are doing a pretty nice work, because you are installing the machines for real, and also making
Yes.
the explanations on the with the slides. So very good work, and let's hope that the machines time remaining, I don't know, 5 minutes. So let's wait
Yeah.
if you are achieve
Yes.
the final thing. So continue.
Okay. So let's get back to the steps. So after the Ubuntu installation, we just have to do some more steps to get the LG working and set up correctly on the machines, like updating and upgrading and installing kernel, installing the LG itself by the command on the master and then on the slaves, then relaunching, then creating a host-only network on the master, and checking that it's working correctly. So after the setup, I'm just going to wait for the master first, because we have everything to do the master first, then the slaves. So let's just wait a few minutes.
So you have finished your slides?
Yes, it's
it,
just taking some
it
time.
was it was complicated to adjust the time of
Yeah,
the presentation to the installation, because
yes.
how many RAM has your computer?
16.
16. Okay,
Yes.
because this is important. There's people that wants to run the Liquid Galaxy with 4 or 8, and it's a little bit
Yeah.
not enough. And also you're gonna run also the the fourth virtual machine. No, you are not gonna run the tablet, or are you?
Yeah. I can, if there's time, I can. I have the BlueStacks here.
Yeah,
One
yes,
minute.
yes, because we have to wait
Yes,
for the machine. So, but you already have the BlueStacks
yes,
installed.
yes, exactly.
Yes, show it up.
Yes,
Let's hope your
right
computer
here.
don't broke.
Yes.
Explain what's the thing about BlueStacks.
Okay,
Just for
so
waiting.
okay, just it's something that you have a virtual tablet instead of a physical tablet. So you can from it install any application for the Liquid Galaxy Lab, for example, the Smart City dashboard, the La Palma volcano tracker, uh, the LVC, many more applications that are available in Liquid Galaxy Lab. You can install them, and then you can try them out. So as if you're having a physical tablet. I'm just not opening up right now. So
So your installation is about the 3 VMs, but we always say that you need 4 VMs. But instead of doing these
Yes.
VMs with the VirtualBox, you run a BlueStacks that it's easier to run
Yes.
the Android virtual machine. And what's the reason
Yes,
to run?
exactly.
The reason is that, remember that several years ago, we took that way of making our controllers, the application containing a tablet. We always have to develop for a 10 inches screen landscape tablet running at least this year. I don't remember if it's Android 12. I don't remember. APA 31, 32. It's on the requirements on the document.
Yes, Android 13, yes.
13 this year. Okay, yes, because 14 is so
Yes.
new. So that's the point. You don't use 3 VMs. You use 4, but the 4 is with the
Yeah.
BlueStacks because you need to test your application against your own virtual machines. And then remember that we have to test at the laboratories. We have to test your applications in real tablets. So I've said in many occasions those past days that it's very important that you try to reach a real tablet. I imagine that an Android tablet is something very easy to accomplish for at least a few weeks or a month, and those are cheap because sometimes, several times, you develop on the BlueStacks thing, and then suddenly when we try to use the application on the real tablet, the thing does not work, and it's a mess for you and for us that we have to be all day long testing and coming back to you and so on. So I think the third machine is going to be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, I can try a different network if that's okay.
You can try what?
For faster, a different internet connection if that's okay. So it's faster.
Because this is still downloading the packages. So
Yeah.
okay. So it's yeah. It's not installing. It's upgrading.
Yeah. So
as you think, I mean, we have to believe you. Explain us. Or there are more slides, or you have finished.
no, this is the last one for the second steps after the installation.
Yeah.
Of the Ubuntu. Yeah. So this is the last slide left for it.
Yeah. So still we have the part of installing the Liquid Galaxy.
Yeah.
This is something. Could you please try to change the?
Yes.
But I'm not sure if it will work. Have you tried this before to change the?
Yes, I did. It works. Yes, I hope.
Okay. Okay. You are with an Android?
Okay. Yeah, this is my hotspot. I was just doing it for a better internet connection.
Yeah.
But I think it's not better, so.
You have only 2 lines of Wi-Fi there. It's not. It has not very good.
Yeah.
Cord. Try the other one.
So I changed it. I hope it's running better.
So one thing I say to the just to make it time to the contributors, in the laboratories we have around the world, there pass a lot of students physically, and most of you also contributors, remote contributors. I said always the same phrase: if you follow rightly the instructions on the manual for installing the virtual Liquid Galaxy, it took 3 hours. If you don't follow the steps rightly, it might take 3 weeks because when you don't do the installation, following the manual and all the steps, networking, naming of the servers, etc. So you suddenly have an installation that is better just to discard it and make a new one and every time passes, every time. Oh, my Liquid Galaxy does not work. Just discard it because you have not followed some parts. I have followed the manual strictly. They say, no, take a look at this. Here says whatever LG, and you put LG2, whatever. Oh, it's not the same man or woman. So it seems that goes a little bit fast, at least the third machine, because it's
Yeah.
well the second is 2 seconds remaining, 1 second remaining, almost done, 0 second remaining.
Yes. Yeah. And I want to add also something that this happened to me last year when I was beginning the contribution with Liquid Galaxy. This setup has took me a lot because I wasn't following or understanding the what we're doing. So it took me, for example, as far as I remember, a week to get the installation done. So yes, you just have to follow the documentation
But
steps and
you
just to
find
understand.
you finally find what was your error, because
Yes,
of course
yes, exactly.
there can be an error on the manual, but hundreds of
Yes.
people read this manual continuously and didn't find. So what was your error?
Okay, so as far as I remember, I had a problem with the host-only network. I didn't set up correctly, and as far as I remember, also I had a problem with the NAT network. They weren't synchronized together. So yes, those were the two things I had
But you didn't
errors.
follow. You didn't follow exactly some steps in the manual.
Yes,
You
some of
think
them, yes.
this is the same. We can go ahead,
Yeah.
and suddenly it seems that you need to follow the steps.
Yes, exactly.
It happens all the time. So let's
Yeah.
wait for the third machine. This is near.
Yes.
So if you want, you can switch, jump to the slides and start explaining what is coming now.
Okay, I can also restart since this
Ah,
is the
yeah,
master,
you can
it's
restart.
finished.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And we're going to wait for the second one. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slides till this finish. Okay, so now what are we going to do is first we have to run two commands after they both gets restarted. After they get restarted, so we have to run two commands. The first one is to update and upgrade, and the second one is installing curl, because we need it for the installation of LG on the machines. If you want to GitHub Liquid Galaxy Lab, or the GitHub of Liquid Galaxy Lab, you will find the installation command, and you need curl for it. So we are going to do those two commands first, and then do the installation command on the machines. First, we're going to do it on the master, since it has to be fully installed on the master first. Once we do this, the Google Earth will run on the master machine. Then we are going to do the second and third machines. And when we do this, we're going to relaunch, and Google Earth will start up on the machines too. Let's check. Okay. So after we done all this process, now all the machines will have Google Earth, and they will be synchronized together. And then the last step we're going to do is creating the host-only network, which will be, like I told you before, for the host to communicate with the machines, the master machine, and accordingly the slaves. So let's get back here. Okay, so this is opened up. Yes, so we're going to open the terminal. Okay, so let's get to the commands. Okay, so here we have sudo. Okay, and we do /f, so it forces it. So we have this command, we're going to run it here and here too after they open up. So let's start with the master machine first. And this is also opening up. We're going to do the same. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so 1 minute.
Please say something because if not, it doesn't
Yes.
seem and it's a little bit boring.
Yes, I'm just, I think something went wrong with Ubuntu installation for this machine. But um, so
To be true, I can see exactly the errors on the screen. What the first machine is still processing.
yes, but I think there was something with the Ubuntu installation for the master machine. It's not doing the upgrading. Mhm.
Yes, Amit says that changing the network might solve the thing with the left slave. I was thinking that you can have a network error because you changed the connection. I'm not sure.
Yes, but also this one, this got installed on the same network, but it's also I could try one time again, and if it didn't work, I'm just going to do it real quick. Is with the installation again.
Amit says because it's unable to connect.
Yes, it's the same error in it's. So I guess something with the installation didn't run correctly. So
It's not a matter of your actual connection.
uh, I'm not sure, but I think the internet connection is running well now.
Test it.
So
But one thing is in the computer, another thing is on the virtual machines. I don't know if
yes, I think yes. I think it's also connected. Okay, maybe I can try restarting them. 1 minute.
So this is a demo, and a demo in real time. Things might happen always.
Yeah.
We have done this maybe 3 or 4 times, and every time we do that, always there is some issues. Not the real issue that the liquid galaxy does not work, but the issues in the middle of the
Yes.
installation. This happens all the
Yes.
time long. So let's try. Oh, there seems to be a stop. What are the...
Yes, it's just getting restarted. So
It's very slow this at this moment.
yes, I'm not sure why it's so slow. I have tried it uh, like 3 times before, but it didn't.
Yeah, yeah. I know you have
Yeah.
rehearsed all this session,
Yes.
but you know that when you did the things on for real with people at the other side, I always have it wherever it's stuck.
Yeah.
Don't be worried. I tell you at the very beginning that this is not an exam.
Yes.
So keep calm, relax.
Okay. I can try reinstalling from again with the new network. Maybe the error was in the network or um, because I think there is some error here. It's not. I can try reinstalling it again.
It's a problem with the communication because it's giving you errors of not resolving the address. So
Yes.
it's I'm gonna say just stop the thing and try to make a ping to see if you have real connection with the outside world. because it's something like
Okay.
the script is not be able to reach the network outside your computer.
Yes, so I can ping the host and try. Okay.
Pablo says disk space.
Yes.
Paramit says do it this way. What way?
Wait. 1 minute. I can.
Run the command only in master.
Yes, I will just check the IP. 1 minute. Uh, I will just stop this. Mm.
It says that run the command only in the master just because your network is slow and two machines simultaneously will slow it down even more. You have a good ping.
Yes.
Local. What else? The problem is going outside.
It's
Ping.
not. Yes.
Amit says, believe me, it will run.
Yeah. Okay, so this machine worked. Or maybe we could continue this for now. So maybe I could try again.
Maybe you have to wait for one machine to stop to finish.
Yes.
That I understand it was what a mid size. Just make it only one machine for the.
I will try just one more time. Hopefully it will work now. So maybe we can try to wait for this machine to finish.
Also, of course, you have your the third machine installing, so
Yes.
you can take a look at the machine's resources, and maybe you are pretty compressed at this moment. Maybe also your CPU is running high.
Yes.
Very curious. It's something like your network goes down because it's saying again that you have no connection.
The internet is it's not down, but I'm not sure. It should be working. Um, and I still think this machine is stuck here. I don't know if I should keep it like this or maybe try installing it again because I think it's stuck. So um, I'm sorry for this. I don't know why the network is not. Okay.
Are you reading the YouTube, Mahinour?
Yes, I saw. Yes, Amit said maybe run the command on the master only. So I will try that.
It seems to be the same thing. It's not connecting.
Yes. Maybe it was an issue with the installment of the Ubuntu itself because
But it didn't give you any error.
yeah. So
Strange.
I'm not sure why it's doing this.
Okay,
And
don't
also
worry.
this
Don't worry.
thing. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I told you from the very beginning that this is going to be hard. I know you have
Yes.
rehearsal it. Let me 1 second. I'm going to switch on my camera and change the vision. I told you that this is going to be difficult because it's normal. So
Yeah.
if we don't have the solution, maybe we can stop here. And no problem.
Mm.
Please don't be. This is not a problem, Mahinour. This happens. So
Okay.
the point is that we can do two things. One is to be better. Maybe you can do it, retry it for yourself, see what is the problem. Maybe it's the connection. We don't know.
Okay.
And then maybe the best will be that you yourself record the last part of the installation, the Liquid Galaxy part of
Yes.
the stuff, and then you told me send me the video. I will review it, and then we will record it on YouTube as a second part of this streaming. This is something happens, you know,
Okay.
people. This is live. Something is happening with the connection, and it's not something
Yes.
we are gonna solve now. I have to say again, thank you, Mahinour, for your presentation. No problem. This
Yes.
is not a problem. Things happen.
Yes. I'm very sorry for that.
Yeah, but things
I did the installment many
but
times.
things
So,
happen. Don't worry.
yes.
Then
Yes.
again, thank you. Let's stop here,
Okay.
and then please record by yourself the final part of the installation. Take your time, your days,
Okay.
whatever. Not much days.
Okay.
It is possible because this video was. It's important for the new people that are coming and they want to see the installation. Of course, we have other videos, but this will be the latest one. So
Yes, of course.
do it by yourself, and when it's ready, send it to me, and we will review it and announce again that we are going to have this second part. Let's
Okay.
say second part. So thank you, Mahinour. See you. Thank you
Thank
to
you.
all the people.
Yes.
Amit says I got this error many times. Okay, we know that this happens, but it's late. It's 8:15 in Cairo. Here also it's late. We are on the night, and I don't want to think in India. It will be almost. Yeah, the problem is on the network. Says Amit. So, see you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Bye, Mahirur.
Bye.